Ding dong. Hey everybody. It is Thursday at 3, Coaching for the Soul. How's everybody doing today? See who pops on here. A lot to talk about. A lot to talk about today. So we'll see who it is. Oh, I want to switch this around, don't I? Hey Catherine, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Today is a good day, huh? Hey Amanda. Hey Jason. What's going on, man? Okay, I need to do this because I would like to know who is popped on before they show up on my screen. How about that? Just realized, oops, I don't want that. Hey, hello, Adrian. Today is a fabulous day, Catherine. Today is just amazing. Just an amazing day. Hi, Nancy. How's it going? Yeah, today is great. So, how's everybody else doing? Good, I hope. A lot to talk about today. Hope everybody's doing good. Bailey's in a good place. He went to the vet again yesterday, so that's a good thing. Got all of his shots, getting ready to move when that happens. I think it's going to be soon that we are be picking up and moving to Hawaii. So that'll be a good thing. Got the feeling it's going to happen quickly. So that will be good for us, for sure. He's finally going to eat his lunch at 3 o'clock. So he wants people food, but he doesn't get people food. So not tonight, not today. Okay, so let's see how many people get on. There's a few, not many, but we'll see. I just want to make sure everybody's doing okay and enjoying the weather. It's not as hot today, thank God for that. Yeah. But like I said, there's lots to talk about. So we'll see who else pops on. Adrian just finished watching the homecoming service for. Oh yeah, that was on today. I know. I can't watch stuff like that. It makes me way too emotional. Yeah, so I'll watch it in pieces on TV later tonight. Amanda had missed testing sessions. Sent a message in Facebook, but we'll check later to schedule. It's a day. Yeah. Amanda, I remember you sending me something, but you got to text me. Okay? If you didn't text me before, I hope that you did. Or Facebook message me. That's the best way to get in touch with me. Okay? Catherine asks, are you getting rid of stuff? Interestingly enough, my new friend, Laura Gutman, I think her last name is Gutman, I think so. We had a little conversation last week, I believe on Thursday before I did my reading. And she had told me to start getting rid of stuff. And I'm like, okay. She goes, no, it's going to happen soon, so get rid of stuff. And I'm like, okay. Well, I said something to Lee about it, and he's like, we're not getting rid of it until we got that house bought. I'm like, exactly. So we still got stuff, you know. So yeah, yep. So yeah, for sure. So I'm looking forward to that. And interestingly enough, this morning I got up to use the bathroom at 5:30, and got back in bed. And hello, Lisa Shore. How are you, my dear friend? And I got a message from my mom and dad. Interestingly enough, you know how Spirit always says it happens before you wake up, so you remember it. Well, I don't know what the whole thing was, but I was walking down a sidewalk. Hey, Barb. Walking on a sidewalk, and my parents are sitting on a park bench by the sidewalk. And hey, Angel. And I noticed them, and they're both passed away, right? And so my mom stands up, and she gives me this hug. Doesn't say anything. And I look at my dad. Hi, Lisa. And I look at my dad, and he's got this dad smile on his face. Like, yeah, that's my, you know, you can tell those, that's love between my wife and her son and our son, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, my mother didn't say anything. She's tiny. She's only 5'2", I think. So, and I'm 5'8". So again, giving her the hug and feeling the hug and feeling the energy and feeling the love. And my mother hasn't come to me in almost a decade like that. Hi, Angie. She's at my house with my dad all the time, as are my grandparents. So I'm used to the energy in my house. But for her to do something like that, like I said, she hasn't done it in, I would say, almost a decade since I moved into this apartment. So that's interesting, right? And I believe it is a on to the next chapters of your life. We're going to come with you. You've done good. You know, my blessings from my mom. Going to get emotional, sorry. Chimes have been busy all day. So, yeah. So I think it's, this morning was a little intense. That's why if you notice on my Facebook pages, I posted a bunch of like 80s and 90s party music because I was in that space of just wanting to let go, and music is just makes me absolutely just ascend and hi Chuck and leave all my cares behind. Because again, when I was a child, I would, every Sunday I would go to my room, put on my headphones, and I would listen to hi Alice. I would listen to for some reason my mother and father had a Hawaiian album. I don't know why. I kind of do now. But I would listen to that Hawaiian album every Sunday, usually about 2 o'clock. And I would cry for 2 hours with my headphones on, and I'd listen to it again and again. Hi, Susan. Again and again and again. And like I said, I would cry for about 2 hours. And then I would come downstairs from my room, and my mom would say, my eyes would be red, of course, but I'd be in a different energy, right? And she goes, "Honey, are you okay?" I said, I'm okay." And she'd say, "Okay, well, get a drink of water and go outside." Okay, so I'd get a drink of water and I'd go outside. Hi, Jen. So now I think I know why the Hawaiian album was so important to me. Hi, Jerry. And it's been a fascinating first 60 years. And I'm looking forward to the next 25 or 30, let's say. Who knows, right? And I believe it's going to be in Maui, in Kihei, Maui. So that will be something that will be interesting. And I'm just waiting for everything to start to. It's moving in that direction. Yeah, So that makes me happy, right? And it's a lot of positive inside of me. I keep getting the message September 14th. I don't know what September 14th is for. Hi, Ann. I don't know. So it's got some significance. Hello, Lori LaChapelle. How are you? I think I got everybody. I got Terry and I got Lori and Ann and everybody. Okay, so I think there's more people inside now, inside the room. So okay, so we're gonna start. We talked about Maui. Yep, talked about moving. Yep. So Spirit wants me to say, we're getting rid of everything. So furniture. I don't know about my plants. I'm gonna have to do something with my 15-foot plants and the stuff that I've had forever. Hi, Paula. So I don't know. I'm emotionally tied to that stuff, and then I'm supposed to leave things behind that are, part of my past. But it's gonna be a tough thing. Bailey's looking at me like, "What are you doing over there? Who are you talking to?" So it's interesting. So we talked about that. And like I said, September 14th. I don't know what it is. I got September 14th from Spirit this past week. And I'm like, okay, what does it mean? He goes, I got nothing. So there's a reason for September 14th. So so we'll see what happens. Is it this year? Is it 2021? I've learned not to ask. Hey, Toby, how's it going? So, all right. So, hey, Vic. So Spirit wants to talk about, because of COVID and because of energy being intense and things like that, about how we treat ourselves and how we treat our family, okay? How we treat the people that we love. Meaning, our children who are small or teenagers, even if they're grown, but again, I know, Spirit says the energy is all about them. And if you are a female, usually females run the family like they do in a pack of lions or a pack, right? He just showed me wild dogs in Africa and things like that. The females are the ones who were basically in charge. and chimes. And Spirit, that's the way that the dynamic is, Spirit says. Um, sorry guys, allergies. So he wants to talk about that. Understanding yourself. Doing everything that you possibly can to understand who you are. Doing everything you possibly can when you get intensified energy in your body, that you release that energy by speaking, right? And I've talked about this many, many times in the past 2 years of doing these Facebook Lives, that it's all about expelling the energy by having conversations, by talking out loud to yourself, to Spirit, to, again, my mom and my dad. Again, I just talk, right? I always have. So, and the reason being is because that brings enlightenment, Spirit says. That allows you to let go of that energy that no longer serves you. And I've had many, many clients in the last week who are at the cusp of not understanding why they yell at their children. And they were yelled at as children, just like my family was, right? My mother didn't yell at us many times. She just yelled because she needed to let go of the frustration that she had about having 4 kids in this tiny house in Jackson, and everybody was different, very different. And so, and worrying about our kids. So I get that. Now as a grown up, I mean, I'm a year older than my mom was when she died. So my mother's been gone most of my life, right? So when she visits, it's kind of cool, right? So Spirit says, for the people who either are watching this for the first time, or going to watch it later in the week, or going to watch it in the future on YouTube and things like that, that it's never the wrong time to start understanding who you are. If you have small children, please do not allow your frustration or your history of, hi Kathy, or your history of how you were brought up to damage your children because they're tiny. Understanding, from the day you're born to the day you're 13, your ego tapes everything that happens in your life, okay? And then when you turn 13, 14 years old, when you mature physically, ego hits the play button. So for the next 70 years, you have to overcome everything that it taped in the first 13 years of your life, when you didn't understand the energy in the world. Spirit gave me this, I think today's Thursday. He gave me this at the beginning of the week, and this is the second time he's given this to me. Understanding that a child at 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old is still getting used to the fact that they're on Earth, right? That they have gravity to worry about, that they gotta poop, that they gotta pee, that they gotta eat, that they have to breathe, because they've been in spirit for 100 or 125 years, right? So when they're babies and they're crying, again, they don't know why they're hungry, because you're not hungry in spirit, right? So it's all their transformation into human beings. They carry the soul, right? They don't understand. I know. He says the inner soul knows the journey. The human does not. Now, how does that sound when Spirit talks about adults? Our soul knows where we're going, right? It knows the day you're born, the day you're going to die, and all the chapters in between. But human does not. And that's the key. Doesn't mean we can't know, right? Because the more enlightened we become, hey Tammy, right? The more enlightened we become, the more we ascend, the more we know the other parts of our brain that we use. And everybody on the planet is empathic. Everybody on the planet is intuitive. So as COVID works its way through the energy of the earth, expect every single person who is both of those things automatically to be intensified. And that's what COVID is all about. Hello, Julie Fitzgerald. I was thinking about you the other day. I was going to check your Facebook page and see if you were still alive, girl. And so it's super, super important that we understand about our children, about our babies, is the fact that even at 5, 6, 7 years old, okay, that they don't understand why mommy's yelling at me or yelling, because they don't understand the energy. Just because they didn't pick up their toys or because they didn't do this and that. If you don't have a conversation with your children in your mommy tone, it cannot be in your frustration tone. It cannot be in your angry tone. It cannot be whatever triggered you of that child because they didn't listen. They're 5 years old. They know better. No, they don't. They don't have a memory worth nothing. She does that just because. Oh no, you're being triggered because she reminds you of yourself. See how that works? That's what the universe does to human who's already here. Your children picked the mother and the father just like we did. I picked my mom and my dad, and I knew exactly who they were before I got here. Didn't know who they were when I came out of my mom's body. Hey, Katrina, right? I didn't know, but I'll guarantee you, she knew me. And when I looked at her, I knew her from past lives. I was the oldest soul in the family, being the Capricorn. My mother was a Taurus. My father was a Virgo. I was the oldest soul. So, again, being older and now being enlightened, I understand, right? I understand exactly who I was in the family. I was born third. My youngest brother is 5 years older than I am. Hi, Deanna. Right? So again, the more enlightened I get, the more I understand my family dynamic. Okay? And understand that my mother and father had no training about how to talk to children. My mother and father, my brother and sister had no training. Again, because they're not even the least bit enlightened, right? But my job for coaching for the soul, right, is to help the people that follow me, to help them understand that how you were treated as a child is not supposed to be given to your children. If you're frustrated, find out why. Spirit, this drives me nuts. I need you to help me with this. I don't get it. You got to help me. It's not fair to my children to absorb my negativity, to absorb my anger, to absorb not everything but my knowledge. And ego's taping every single bit of that energy, every single bit of negativity. Your ego is taping. It will have 12 years of anger and frustration and crazy and 6 months of happy over that 13 years. What's going to win out? If you have daughters and you're a female, your daughter's here for a reason. Your daughter's here to mirror your behavior, to mirror your anger. I mean, how many times did I hear growing up, as I grew up, right, that parents would say, I don't know who that child is, Billy, that you hang out. He was never like that as a child, and this was their parents. Because you taught him. You taught him. My father taught us boys how to treat women. It's just what we did. I mean, we didn't have, my father was an amazing example. He was raised by his two sisters and his mom. Makes sense to me, right? So my mother was treated extremely well by us and by my dad. And we were never disrespected my mother. There was no way we would ever do that because that's not what we did, right? We didn't, the back talk that we had, right? Especially me, because I was that old soul, right? My mother would look at me and say, who do you think you're talking to? And I'd be like, oops, overstep that line. Again, me being the Capricorn, me being that soul that knows, right? And again, thinking that he controls the world, which most Capricorns do believe that, even as children, okay, that they have to understand. Bailey's stuck outside, guys. Sorry. Let me take you this way. You can't go, Gugu. You can't go outside like that. Come on, come this way. Come on. He's blind as a bat. Come on in the house. Sorry, guys. Dad's gonna shut the door so you can't go outside. Okay, so he was outside. He was outside looking at the flowers. Crazy. Yeah, dog's dumb as dirt. Swear to God. So understanding yourself is the most important thing that anybody can do in their lifetime, okay? And usually it happens between 35, 40, 45, 50, okay? Because you need to evolve for the next decade. You need to evolve and make yourself lighter. Why? Because you can't survive if you're not light as we get older, okay? And that's what it's all about, is making sure that when we get the energy, when we get the what is it, Spirit? When the negativity rises to a level of we don't know what to do when we don't know what to do with it, it makes us angry, makes us frustrated, makes us depressed, whatever it might be, that's the cue to become more conscious. Okay? That we have to be conscious of our behavior, that we have to be conscious of our tone of voice. We have to be conscious the way that we treat people, especially our children. Okay? Because the last thing that you want to do, because we've all had baggage in our childhood. None of us were treated like kings and queens. And if you were, God bless you. If you had parents that were miraculously evolved and these human beings that were truly human beings, gosh, you picked the right ones. I had parents, grew up in the Depression, who loved me and loved us, took care of us extremely well. Didn't give us everything that we wanted. We had to work for everything that we had. My mother always said, I need to raise adults, especially the boys. Hey, Karsten, right? My mother did that because she was firm on, I'm not taking care of you boys, and you're never going to find a woman who's going to. Okay? Because she knew it wasn't going to happen. That the boys needed to be independent. That the boys, the three of us, my sister too, but more so the boys, because she was always like, you're not bringing your laundry home from college and having me do it. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not fixing your meals, anything like that. So we learned that we had to be self-sufficient. We learned that when my mother said at 12 years old, here, I'm going to show you how to do your own laundry, and we had to do our own laundry. See? So if we wanted something to go to, because our clothes were dirty, she'd say, if she was in the good space, hey, Chris, she'd say, okay, bring them downstairs, Thursday's laundry day. Okay, well, cool, right? But then we'd have to fold them. We were always involved in something having to do with laundry or cooking, doing the dishes, cleaning the house, whatever it was. She'd always say to us, I didn't have you children for me to take care of you. I had you kids so that you could take care of me. Makes perfect sense to me now, right? Although it was a dysfunctional way of handling things in our house because of my older brother and things like that, and they didn't know about certain things back in the day. Hey, Michelle, right? So those of us who have become more enlightened, mine was doing talk therapy for pretty much for 10 to 13 years, and then doing my Steve Noble meditation starting a year and a half ago, and getting all that other clutter pulled out, and understanding where I needed to go to be able to move forward in my life at 60, right? So everybody has a point in their soul's journey where, I know, Spirit says there's a timeline in every soul's journey that you need to get with the program, or they're going to make your life hell. And COVID's part of that. Intensifying the negative energy that you carry, intensifying the steamer trunks full of baggage that you have, intensifying everything that is not good. Unfortunately, your children, your dog, your partner take the brunt of the frustration. Because eventually you have to blow, right? I've talked to quite a few people this week for the first time who found me on the internet, and I'm extremely blessed and thankful for that, and understanding that they need to talk out loud to their spirit guides and guardian angels. You need to open up your throat chakra, because most adults' throat chakra is clogged. It's closed. It's not working properly. Why? Because when we're children, we're made to feel like we don't matter. We're made to feel like we need to shut up. We need, again, your opinion's not welcome, or whatever it might be, right? And at your 2, 3, 4, or when the parent is yelling at the child and the child's reaction is to cry, stop crying. Well, that's the wrong message to give your child. The only thing they know how to do, because they can't put words together to tell you to effing stop, is they cry. If you stop that up in boys and girls when they're growing up, guess what? When you ask them what's wrong when they're teenagers, they tell you nothing. Nothing, I'm good. You seem kind of off today. No, I'm good. And that's not what it's about, right? You want your teenagers, boys and girls, to come to you when something's going on. Chimes. Be it bullying or sexual harassment or even worse things, right? You want to be the one that they have a free-flowing conversation with. Hi, Laura, right? That's the obvious thing. I don't know that many people that had that with their parents. I was blessed with a mother who every night when we come home at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night when we were grown, she would look up from her Harlequin romance, which she read one a night, and she would say, so what's happening? And we'd kind of tell her what's going on. You know, it was either my sister or myself, because we were the youngest kids, see? And that was kind of the way that we interacted with each other, see? So understanding, my mother always paid attention to what we were doing and what we were saying, okay? I mean, I remember a phone call with my boyfriend at the time. This is when the landline was the big thing, right? You didn't have a phone, and I wasn't upstairs on our phone. I was in our utility room, had the long cord where the phone was at. My mother was sitting in her chair. I'm not thinking she's paying attention because her nose is in a book. Well, talking to my boyfriend, having a little conversation, which wasn't very good, and she could hear what he was saying to me. Okay, and when I got off the phone, she says, "Honey, you should never let a man treat you like that, or a boy. You should never let a boy talk to you or treat you like that." And I went, "What are you talking about?" I'm thinking she doesn't even. First, I didn't know I'm gay, which is I was very feminine back in the day, and of course she knew. I mean, that's only obvious, right? Again, my mothers know everything, and tried to hide it, but I was never in the closet. It was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. I just don't want to have a conversation about it, right? So she said that to me. I was probably 20 years old. Maybe 20? Yeah, probably 20. Maybe 19. Yeah. See? So again, she felt comfortable enough that I would receive it the proper way, right? Because we always had our conversations. So that's the key. See? That's the key. Is having that understanding with your children, with your spouse, right? Having that free flow of conversation, that free flow of energy. Because if you don't, it's only negative. And your children, who wants to send their children out into the world with a bad self-esteem if they're a female? I mean, there's enough of that stuff that happens in the cliques in high school or junior high school, right? Even 6th grade now, right? For boys, it's about boys feeling left out because they don't like the way they look. They're not athletic. They didn't mature as quickly as the other boys. They don't have a support system that certain boys have. Like, again, the different cliques of guys in school, just like the cliques as females, right? I was blessed. I made myself part of all of those things. And it was mostly for safety, because I was bullied big time in junior and senior high school, okay? Senior high, not so much. High school, not so much. But I was still fearful. Hi, Joan. Hi, Kathy. See? So again, I learned that as a child. I learned that I had to protect myself as a child. Hi, Sandy. I had to learn that because of being chased home from school and my parents not knowing. Okay, if they did know, they thought, well, it's just part of growing up. Well, that was backward thinking, but that was the real thinking back then, right? Nobody, I don't know how many times I have stopped boys getting off the bus in my complex, and they're dicking around, and one boy's got another boy in a headlock, or they're pushing them down. I will stop my car. I will stop my car and say, you boys, stop that. Nobody should put their hands on anybody. Absolutely not. We're just messing around. I don't care what you're doing. There's no reason for anybody because that person in the headlock is feeling less than. Trust me. They're not both the same size. They're not both the same guy at all. Hey, Colleen, right? So is that kid going to go home and tell his mom that so-and-so kid had him in a headlock and that's why he's in the weird mood? No. This kid's blowing it off because he wants to be part of the cool kids. Trust me. But internalized, he knows that he just wants friends. He wants to be part of the pack. He wants to be part of the herd, right? Because it's safe, right? Well, they learn that on their own. So if they come home, they need to be the home needs to be open with mom and dad so they can say, yeah, today kind of sucked. You know, Steve put me in a headlock when I got off the bus again, and you know, it really sucks because everybody laughs at me, or whatever that child might say, right? If you don't have that, what happens is that child internalizes that. We all know that, right? We've all done it in our lives. No one on here is young, like 10, 12, 15 years old, 20 years old. Most of us on this feed and in the future feeds understand what it's like to internalize things that don't serve us. Don't serve us because we don't know how to express them. And that's the key. That's what this video is about, and others in the future will be about, and have been in the past. It's about allowing ourselves to speak out loud to our spirit guides and guardian angels. Allowing ourselves to do the things we need to do. Why? To release that negative energy, to release that trauma, to release, right? Understanding that it is our journey of our soul to allow ourselves to ascend, allow ourselves to understand that it needs to be a free-flowing house. Lisa asks, how do we teach, how do you teach your kids that? That comes from mom and dad and their relationship with each other and what they have been like since they were kids. Is it easy to teach that at 13, 14, 15? No, it isn't. But again, like my mother would do at 11 o'clock at night, because my dad went to bed, he had to go to work in the morning. My mom was awake till 2 o'clock in the morning, every morning, and she'd sleep and she'd read out Harlequin romance a night. Okay, that's my mother escaping, right, from our world. And then so we would have that conversation. So what's going on? What's happening? Oh, so blah, 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 blah. This is what's going on. And we felt free to do that with our mom because we trusted her. See? So again, doing the same thing, Lisa, is just kind of like at night before they go to bed, or again, it's got to be one-on-one. It can't be in front of the family. It never happened when me and my sister were at home at the same time. It was always one-on-one, okay? Because it was private stuff. I didn't want my sister to know, and she didn't want me to know, right? So that's how you do it. Don't do it at the dinner table, because guess what? The judgment and the pressure's there, right? Because of the past, you don't know what your children take from. You need to clean everything on your plate, which my mother never did because she knew that was going to make people fat, right? Just eat what you want, and that's fine. You do not have to clean your plate off. You do not have to eat that food if you don't like it. You do not have to do that. That's not who she was, because she wanted to make sure that her children got nutrition, but that they weren't obese, that they were full, but not believing and understanding, hey Sandra, that they had to clean everything off their plate, because it doesn't work like that. All you're doing is teaching your children to eat. And the way that society is going with less activity, guess what? The plates are massive now. The servings are massive now. They eat everything that's on the plate. No. They don't have any self-control in what they're going to put on their plate. My mother, we got what we wanted from the dish or whatever was on the table. She did not serve us. She did not serve us. See? When we didn't eat everything that we took, my father would say, eyes bigger than your stomach? Kind of a slight little hint of you took too much food. See? And it wasn't meant in a nasty way. It was just a jest. And when it would happen, we would laugh. Because, yeah, I did. I took too much food. Okay? There was 6 of us. There was no leftovers. Trust me. My older brothers would scarf down the food on your plate in a minute. In a minute. There was no doubt that my brother Carl and my brother David would eat that food off your plate like that. See? So if we did do that, it did not go to waste. See? But my mother and father, my mother had strict rules about the dinner table. No baseball caps, and you had to have a shirt on. Okay? And everybody had to have water unless we had wine that night. We often had wine because my grandmother was from France. So we had wine some nights with our waters and things like that. But we had to drink all of our water. My mom's rule, right? So it didn't make any difference to us. Okay, cool. We knew we had to do it, right? Because my mother would always say, you kids don't drink enough water. So you have to have water. Well, I'd rather have, no, you can't have that. You got to have water. Okay, boom. See? So again, boundaries. We might have had conversations at the dinner table, but it wasn't anything that was too deep or too important or too anything. It was, again, just having everybody together at the same time. Again, which is very, 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 very important. Why? So your children feel safe. Because you have to have a family. And if there's things going on where dad's working afternoons or nights or mom's doing the same thing and whatever it might be, COVID is changing that by having people work from home, having people be on unemployment, and that's going to go forward, guys. Trust me, this is a new energy. This is an energy that is taking over the entire earth to allow human to know more, to allow human to get back to our basic lifestyle of taking care of our children and taking care of ourselves by energy that will soon be on the earth that is very positive once we pull ourselves out of the hole that we're in. Okay? So again, hey Michelle, the time to work on ourselves is now. The time to really understand the COVID energy, right? And understand the politics of things. And this summer's been wonderfully hot. But again, there's all kinds of things that go along with that. But quarantine is so important. Wearing a mask is so important. Making sure that we self-isolate, right? That we make sure that we're in the right place at the right time. Again, those are all rules of survival, Spirit says. Okay? And not that we're in survival mode, because we're not. It's about understanding that we have to take care of ourselves and our family, right? That's our job. That's our job, is to protect them and take care of them, to feed them, to clothe them, to do the things that we know that we have to do to the best of our ability, okay? And if we want something, we need to have a conversation with Spirit. We need to do that, right? We need to understand this. Spirit, I need you to help me with this. I need to have more money. I need you to help me. And the cool thing about this is that the government is going to pay people to stay home in 2021. Okay? Take that check, guys. Put that stuff in the bank and use it. Okay? Because every adult's going to get paid to stay home this winter. If not sometime possibly this fall, I keep getting it's going to be probably January, February. Okay, so again, and don't worry. Everything is going to be fine. The worry that you feel, the worry that you don't understand, is connected to yourself. It's connected to your past. It's connected to your childhood. It's connected, or it wouldn't bother you, right? Why are people so angry? Where'd the Karens come from, right? The Karens that we talk about are afraid. They're afraid. They're not balanced. See? If they understood the energy, if they understood that black man, that black female, those black young kids, that Latin kid, that Mexican kid, whatever, again, here in Metro Detroit, that Arabic child, that Chaldean child, that Egyptian child, whatever, they're not going to hurt anybody. They're not there to steal from you. What are you doing? Because they're frantic. Their egos are out of control because they're afraid. They're afraid. When I watch those videos, I go, man, oh man, she's really afraid. She's really afraid. You know, and hey, Patty, and understanding that it's okay to be afraid if you do something about it. If you do something to understand, why am I afraid? Why? I don't understand why I'm afraid of this. I don't understand. I feel anxious. I feel uptight. I feel scared. I feel like there's no end in sight. I feel, well, that's okay if you're feeling from your true self in your heart, right? But a lot of that is ego. Ego's got your feelings wrapped around its finger. And anytime anything negative happens, you react to it in the wrong way because you're not conscious. That's the key. See? The people who are protesting right now, there's a reason why they're protesting. Because everything that was in the dark for the last 400, 600 years, with Black Lives Matter and Me Too and things like that, Chimes, is now coming to the light. And people are not in their routine any longer because of COVID. Reason why. So that we can look at that and rectify it, which we will in 2021 and 2022. Okay? Is understanding that we as a society, we as a human race, cannot move forward into the fourth dimension or the fifth dimension, which is a raising of the vibration on the earth. So we use different parts of our brain, right? We can't move forward carrying that 500 or 600 year baggage about slavery, right? About Me Too. We still have kids in cages. See? So again, we can't do that because that's not humane. That's not the way that the new world, the new energy, the way that humans live in the future will happen. Right? Now, does that mean that everything's going to be chaotic and crazy? No, it doesn't have to be. There's a system of how things are going. It's about each individual human being taking that and going, okay, I understand that I've got to take care of me and my family. Those chimes. I have to do that for me and my children. I do not want my children to have the same experience that I had. And how do I do that? Right? How do I get myself out of ego thinking? How do I get out of reactionary thinking? How do I get out of not puking that negativity on my children? Because they don't understand what the hell mom or dad is doing. They don't. Okay? Again, it's easier for women to find and understand on their own. That's why guys don't have kids. Okay? Males are very different species. Like the book says, what is it? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, or something like that. It's the truth. Thank God I'm gay, because I get the best of both, and some of the negativity of both. Right? I mean, I have lived in two different worlds being gay, right? But at 60 years old, I kind of understand what no longer serves me, right? I understand because I've done the work to be more enlightened. Was it easy? Oh, hell to the no. And I didn't have a teacher. That's the thing, you guys, and that's not asking for pity or asking for anything like that. That's not it at all. It is about you today. You have people out there that are willing to help you for free, again, through resources, through all kinds of different things. I mean, Facebook Watch is bingo. I mean, the internet, YouTube is bingo. I mean, does everything make sense? No, there's some quackery out there. But still, it is finding the person that you trust. And I've talked about Taria at Hidden Truth Tarot. For some amazing reason, she's connected to my guides. And when she does a Capricorn reading for the week, I'm like, yep, that's exactly it. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Other readers that are on YouTube, no, doesn't resonate at all. Talking about something totally alien to who I am. But it's the finding, it's the allowing. It's allowing your spirit guides and guardian angels, because they're energy, to bring you things through energy. Hey, Paula. That's what it's about. How do you do that, Bill? By conversation. They need to be your best friends. You need to talk to them all the time. Good or bad, right? Again, I shared this story about a month or so ago where I had 25 minutes between readings to eat something, and I didn't have anything in the house to eat. Wendy's is 2 miles away on Rochester Road down M59. Normally it takes 20, 25 minutes to get there and back because of traffic. Because first off, there's 4 traffic lights before you get there, right? If you don't get them all green, guess what? You're not going anywhere. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Tracy, right? So it takes longer to get there, longer to get back because of Rochester Road traffic, okay? Well, this day I said, okay, Spirit, okay, Mom, okay, Dad, I got 25 minutes and that's all I've got. Hey, Paula, so I got to get there and back, and I got to eat before my next reading, okay? I made it back and forth in less than 15 minutes. Why? I got all green lights getting on M59. I got all green lights getting onto Rochester Road, through Rochester Road, to Wendy's on Rochester Road, not a line waiting for drive-through, ordered my food, got back on Rochester Road, got all green lights to M59, boom, 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 done. 15 minutes. I ate that sandwich, spicy chicken sandwich, like I hadn't eaten in a freaking week. It was so good. It was so amazing, right? And I'm like, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Spirit. That is the best freaking spicy chicken I've ever had in my life, right? I got there and back. I was fed. Everything was good. Chimes. But you have to thank them for that. You have to ask them for that, right? They need to be your best friends. Now, do I know it was my mom and my dad? No. Do I know it was Spirit? One of them. One of the spirits that live in the tower, the ivory tower above my head, which all of us have as we go through lifetimes, that interchange. Do I know which one is speaking to me? No. I just know it's the same voice, right? Like I do now. I don't know who is coming through me, who I'm channeling. It doesn't matter. Why? Because I trust. I know that it's pure. I know it's divine white light. I know it's divine. The messages that I give to people and to Facebook Lives and things like that, people that are just my friends and things like that, I don't even question where it comes from anymore. It just flows through me. But that's because I had to go through a lot of behavioral changes. Had to go through a lot of letting go. Steve Noble meditations, my friends. If you're not doing Steve Noble meditations, you need to get the point that those meditations are going to allow you to let stuff go and allow your spirit guides, your guardian angels, and the universe to heal you inside. Not completely, because again, we have to have talk therapy. We have to have talk. We have to release that energy. As Spirit used to say, you got to regurgitate that stuff out of your body. Because if you don't, you become a sewer. Become a sewer. And does not serve you. Because you become toxic, right? And then every situation that you're in seems to be toxic, right? I know a person who cannot get along with any of her bosses. In the past 8 years. Every time she gets a job, hey Katrina, every time she gets a job, every time she gets in the right place, see you Laura, every time that she thinks she's in the right place, within a year and a half, maybe 2 years, here comes the bitch, who's her boss, okay? And she's like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do, it's the same thing again. Well, do you think it might be you? Not them. Again, it's the universe's way of bringing people into your life to smack you in the face and go, oh, this is like the third time this has happened in the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Maybe it's me. Of course it is. Of course it is. It's you. That's the universe going, okay, listen, we're going to try one more time to get you to let go of your stuff. Trust that we're going to take care of you. Talk out loud to us. Let your stuff go. And if you choose not to because you have free will, because you're human, then you're going to have to either quit your job, change your behavior to match theirs, right? Change the way that you speak, change your energy. Well, that's all things that have to do with you. This person's a friend, so I would never be the person to say that to them, right? I just go, okay, it's happening. It seems like it happens a lot, right? Yeah, it does. I don't understand why. Blah, 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 blah. And that's what it's all about. So Kevin says, learning to trust their messages is one of the hardest things my channeling clients go through. Exactly, Kevin. I'm telling you what. And I'll truly be honest. Until Steve Noble Meditations, I questioned almost every single message I received from Spirit. And people say, why do you do that? Because I need to. Because I'm that Capricorn. I need to know. I need to make sure that this is exactly what is supposed to happen so I don't make a misstep. So I don't fall off the mountain that I'm climbing, because Capricorns are mountain goats, right? We've been around for over 4,000 years, our souls have, and longer, right? So we know the terrain. We know that if we don't take the right step, we don't make the right step, we don't make the right decision, we could fall off the cliff and lose our life. See? So the key is understanding. Again, Steve Noble Meditations works for me. Does it work for everybody? I haven't had one person who's done Steve Noble Meditation to say, yeah, Bill, they really didn't help me at all. No one. In a year and a half. I'm telling you, that's the way it is. It's just the way it is. But it's about understanding that when you are talking to your guides. They're your best friends. You understand what they're saying. You understand the energy. You get it. And the messages can come on the internet, it can in a YouTube video, whatever. It can come on a TV commercial. It can come in a movie that you've seen 100 times, right? It can come from standing in the line at the grocery store and hearing people behind you talk, and boom, the message is in there. The answer's in there. See? Telling you. It can come from all different directions, but you have to be aware. But being aware is also being conscious. That this is what I asked for yesterday, and I just got the answer. Chimes. See? Is it going to happen like that? Well, yeah, if you're clairvoyant. Sometimes. I don't always get the answers. I was supposed to be in Maui in 2018. I'm still in Sterling Heights, Michigan, right? I know it's coming soon. The energy is building towards moving to Kihei, Maui, right? It seems like everything is kind of moving in that direction. But unconsciously, in 2018, we're going this year. It's going to happen. Again, questioning spirit. They gave me information. I took it as being right now. No. Forgetting that there's no time in spirit. They didn't say you're going to move September 14th, 2018. They didn't say anything about that. You'll be there by Halloween. You'll be there by Thanksgiving. You'll be there by Christmas. You'll be there by your birthday. Well, that didn't work out. But they never said my birthday 2018. And I never asked. I said, it's going to be this year? It's going to be next year? What's it going to be? But since the Steve Noble Meditations I started doing in the end of January 2019, now if I ask that question, I know I will receive the answer and I will understand it. Why? Because I'm so much more clear. My energy is so different. I've ascended to a level I never believed I would go to. But that's why Spirit sent me the Steve Noble Guided Meditations from my friend Angie. Again, she receives the meditation end of January 2019, and her guides say, this is for Bill, send it to him. He's the one who this is for. She goes, okay, fine. She sends it to me with a little note. Bill, guide said this. I went, what the hell, I'll do it. I have nothing to lose. My life right now sucks. I'm just going to do it. So I did the meditation, and it was freaking amazing. Didn't know it at the time, because I'd never meditated before in my life. I never could. See? So it took me a week to recover. I did it again. Another week to recover. Asked a friend, why are these things so exhausting to me? And they explained why. Because they're cleaning off your human body. They're cleaning out your human body of energy that does not serve you, that you've collected over time by being human and being clairvoyant, being all the clairs, right? And being a medium and being empathic and being, again, psychic and all the things that come along with that. There's a lot of energy that at the time, human did not know that he collected. So as I did those meditations, it's like, holy cow, these things are amazing. And again, being the Capricorn, let's see what else there is. Let's see what else there is on the YouTube channel, right? And going, oh, that one looks good. And Spirit say, do that one there. Okay, I'll do it. Like I said before, I did a praying mantis meditation. Have no idea why, that was last year. Have no idea why last summer I did a green praying mantis meditation. Didn't resonate with me at the time. Don't know that it's not going to resonate with me in the future. I don't know. But I was guided to do that. See? So that's what it's all about, is understanding that he guided me to do it. Again, I'm not going to say that I'm special. I'm going to say because I'm clairvoyant and because I am, and if you're clairvoyant and have the gifts and can understand, that's awesome. But for the majority of the population that is empathic and intuitive, and as the COVID energy releases more knowledge to you and raises your vibration on the earth, and all of a sudden you start getting more energy, more understanding, more clarity, Spirit says, that's when it's so important. So for me, I was guided to do these things because I didn't have a teacher. I only had Spirit and a few people in my life that allowed me to tag along with them, that allowed me to go, okay, I don't like that, I don't like that, I like that, I like that, I like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, from different people. And I've always been that person where I've grabbed things from other people that suited me because I knew what I wanted to do. I knew, I had kind of an idea of where I wanted to be, but I never thought I'd be this person. I never dreamt I would be this person. See? So that makes a difference. Why? Because I still talked out loud to Spirit. I had plenty of FU conversations with Spirit. I'll be honest with you with that. It's okay. That's what they're there for. We had plenty of FU conversations about, I don't effing get this, I don't effing get that. Why is there nothing I don't understand? Bill, chill. I can't chill. No, you don't, Bill, chill. Right? So the energy that I'm giving you today, multiply that by 10 in 2006. When I left my job after 37 years. Yeah, it was 10 times more than this, okay? Didn't serve me at all, but it made me a lot of money. Made me a lot of money, okay? So I had to lose all that energy and change it. And I did it. Why? Because he wouldn't let me do anything else. He's the power. Spirit, I listen to exactly what they say. I go along with what they say. I just flow. And for a Capricorn, that doesn't usually work. Hey, Carlene, right? It doesn't work. But I had to understand that I don't know. And for a Capricorn, that's very, very hard. That's very, very hard. And that's not even ego-based. That is soul-based. Because my soul is so old, it's always known. My soul has always known. Hi, Lucia. Right? So again, talking to your children, understanding that who you are matters. That the energy that you give your children, that you give your dog, that you give your cat, that you give your bird, that you give your husband, is super, super important. Again, the dog doesn't know. You wonder why your dog is dysfunctional? Well, you may want to look in the mirror with that. Okay? Because dogs are pack animals. And somebody has to be the alpha. And the alpha has to be balanced. If the alpha's not balanced, somebody in the pack takes away the alpha and becomes the alpha who's more balanced, who's more wide viewing, who's more wide thinking, who is more balanced, understanding who they are, what the purpose of the pack is for. And every person's family is like that. And the dog, again, Bailey knows his alpha is me, his daddy is me. And when I'm not on my game, he's like, looks at me and goes, okay, daddy, what's wrong? Where are we going? We're going outside, are we going to go potty? Are we going to have cookies? What are we going to do, Dad? I know what he wants to do. Let's go outside. But I have to let him know that I understand that by my energy that I carry, right? It's the way it is. It's the way it is. So lose that energy that doesn't serve your children, right? How do you lose it? Conversations out loud with Spirit. Even if you got to go to your car and scream. Go to your car and scream. Whatever you have to do to let that frustration go. As you work on yourself, some people need talk therapy with a therapist. Some people can do Steve Noble meditations as a starter. But it all works hand in hand. You can't do one without the other. It doesn't work. It does not work. And your ego will do everything it possibly can to get you to do nothing. To sit there and suffer and suffer and suffer and get more angry and more angry and more angry. And that does not serve you. Because eventually what's going to happen, self-preservation is going to kick in. You're going to go, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And something's got to change. See? But the damage you're doing to your children, the damage you're doing to your nieces and nephews, the damage you're doing to your pets, right? The damage you're doing comes from you. Because you're already damaged, right? But why would you want your children to be damaged also? Your nieces and nephews to be damaged, right? Why? Because that's what I was taught. This is just who I am. Well, that's a lie. You might have been taught that, but that doesn't mean that's who you are. That means that you're too lazy to actually change your behavior, to actually look inside of yourself because you're afraid. Can't be afraid. Can't be afraid. Because if you don't change yourself, your behavior, allowing yourself to regurgitate what no longer serves you, the universe will. Like the friend that I know in 5 years or 6 years has had 3 different supervisors in 3 different jobs. It's not even been a decade. And they've all turned out to be the same woman. Hey, Tammy, right? All turned out to be the same woman. And she doesn't understand why. Well, it's the woman in the mirror that's actually the problem. Her. It's not anybody else. The universe is bringing her people into her life to get her to change. And she's resistant. The universe will keep bringing you horrible things. Who wants that? Who wants that? Look at ourselves and go, okay, I know that my childhood was like this. My father screamed at me all the time. My mother screamed at me all the time. My mom was an alcoholic. My dad was an alcoholic. My dad was a bum. Whatever the negative junk is. Because that's what they were taught. They taught it to you. You gotta forgive them eventually. Gotta forgive them eventually. Okay? So guys, it's after 4. I gotta go. I'm still running specials until tomorrow. You can buy them now and use them in August and September. I don't know if I'm going to be running specials in October or in August. I'm not sure. I'm not. I have to listen to Spirit and tell him what he wants me to do. July is usually the vacation month. And he goes, yeah, do them the whole month. Use the same graphics, everything else. So things will probably change for next month. So there's that. What else? If anybody needs anything, let me know. Send me a text, 248-310-7689. Send me a Facebook message. It doesn't matter, right? If you would like to donate to my webpage, you can. On the home page, there's a donate button. If you like the messages that Spirit gave you today, I appreciate it. It doesn't matter. It's all in gratitude. There is no dollar amount, anything like that. It's whatever you'd like to do. If you really are getting the message, it's just there for that. It's not anything else, okay? But Spirit always wants me to, always reminds me to say that because I don't do that enough. So like I said, if you need help, let me know. There's always somebody there to talk to you. There's always somebody there to give you clarity, and I don't charge a dime for it because I didn't have a teacher like I've said before. So it's very, very important that people, as they go through their journey, have somebody that they can talk to, or at least bounce a question off from and stuff like that. Okay? So thank you very much. I will see you next week, Thursday at 3 for Coaching with the Soul. Namaste, everybody. I'll see you.